Hi once again. I've been thinking of getting an idea of putting other items up on YouTube. I've collected over many years a load of stuff. Some you may say is fit for the dustbin. I don't think it is. They're collectible, interesting items. And I thought I'd do a series which covers the non-telephones, non-lamps and non-plants under items of interest in the collection. And believe me, I've collected a lot of stuff. I suppose being the age I am, you do accrue loads of bits and pieces. And it's only right that I should say something about them. Good points, bad points, why I got them, why they turned up. God, it really goes back a long time. Anyhow, let's see if we can. I've just noticed on my little screen of this camera a little symbol's come up, so I don't know why that has happened. It may be the battery drained. I normally charge this up each time I use it, so if it suddenly goes dead I'll do another one. Anyhow, let's have a look at what we're looking at now. When I was a kid, my father took me to his place of work. It was on a Sunday. He was on maintenance. He used to do, well, basically maintenance, woodwork, stuff like that. And he would bring me along, take me along. And I would have a look at the office where he worked. One office, on one of the tables or where the people were, was a radio very much like the one we're seeing here, and it had a directional finder on the top. And I remember that. I don't know what the name was, but at least I do remember it. Anyhow, since then I picked up this many years ago. And get an idea what it is. It's called a Novatech direction finder 4-band 12-tranche system. It's beautifully made. I won't take the back off, but it is beautifully made. And controls on there, you've got your volume. Not a particularly good station I've got there. Anyhow, I don't worry too much about the stations. It's just interesting what this has got. You've got your volume control up there and off and on. You've got squelch, which I've just got turned off. Direction finding. Now that is enabling you to use the direction finder on there, which I'll turn it around this way, you can see. You've got a scale there, so obviously you set this up to whatever you want to direction find. Then by twisting that, you've obviously got a ferrite aerial in there, which you can pick up the strongest signal. This one has got to say, you've got your international Morse code dots and dashes there as well. So I think this was probably made for the amateur rather than the professional user, although it can be used by both. Show you the scale. I'm just hoping this is going to last out and not go dead, the battery in this camera. You've got a log scale along the top. The next one down is beacon. Now, these I think are mainly used in America. You've got broadcast. In America they call it a broadcast band, which is nothing more than our medium wave. So that is your medium wave band. Next one down there is marine band, which is obviously used when you're at sea. I've got the details there. And the bottom band is VHF, which is not the standard broadcast VHF. If you're expecting to get your modern VHF sounds on this, you won't. As far as I know, if I can show you in there, it's for aircraft as well, so you can probably tune this in with a VHF aerial, which you would need to plug in. Let me see where we are. Now I've got a socket there which you would plug in your VHF aerial. It's on a phono plug, but you can probably get away with it by putting like a little tiny plug in there and make contact and either put a whip aerial up or connect it to the main outdoor aerial. What else we got on here? Obviously provision for the phones. You've got selector here, beacon, broadcast or marine. But directly above that you've got your VHF switch, which you can turn on the VHF to receive the VHF band, which is self-explanatory. I've got to do a little bit of work on it. It's a bit noisy, the VHF switch, so that'll probably need a little bit of switch cleaner. I'll show you the back of it. I won't take the cover off. You've got your name there, Novatech, and the plate there. United Kingdom and Japanese patents pending. You've got US patent number. It's Novatech Inc. Looks like Manhattan Beach, California. I don't know how old this is. I would imagine probably about the 60s. It's got on there Japan, so it's obviously made in Japan. The components are very well made, and you've got your VHF tuner separate in the corner. That, believe it or not, is more or less it. Just trying to think if there's anything else. You've got a dial light. By pressing that, it brings on the dial light. As far as I know, this works on 6 volts. At the moment, I'm pushing it a bit by a 9-volt battery, which I don't want to keep on. I want to pick up the correct battery for this. It's got a battery box which has been used, so I'll pick up some rechargeable AA's. It's best to keep it to the voltage it was specified for. Well, I say specified, there's nothing on here whatsoever to say what the voltage is, which is unusual. I'm trying to find where you plug it in. It's got an external source. Where are we? There we are. That's your external source. And all it says is external power. Which don't tell me anything. And the bracket type of arrangement here would be so that you can turn this around either side and stand it up like so. So you can swivel it about. So yeah, as I say, these were, well, this is the only second one I've ever seen As I said, the first one I've seen of these was when I was with my father, and I must have been 13, 14 at the time. So it was a long time ago, and I knew it was a direction finder, which is this arrangement on the top, which, as I say, inside there will be an aerial arrangement, ferrite rod, I would think. So that is more or less it. As I say, I don't know if there'll be any comments on this. Made a direction finder, and you've got your little meter there, and you would set, let me put it on, I don't want to keep it on there too long. By adjusting that, you can set this on that red line, and by altering the direction finding aerial you can get to the best spot, or use it for tuning as well, so it acts as a tuning indicator. I'll turn it off now. So that is it. So if anyone knows or come across one of these, it's a Novatec. I don't know how much they're worth. As I say, I've picked up so much stuff. I'm not a dealer, by the way, just a mad collector. It's got a bit of writing there as well, which I've just noticed. What's it say there? Tune stations for maximum set of level, rotate antenna for minimum, rotate antenna for maximum. Yeah, it's about the direction finder aerial. So just an interesting thing. I've noticed there's two little screws there. I don't know if they're anything to do with the aerial. Or it might just be to take that cover off, which I don't see the point of taking the cover off, but they're obviously there for a reason. I think that's all I've got on here. So as I say, this will be the first in the series, items in the collection, and believe me, I've got loads and loads, and it more or less covers bits that I've got of interest, well, hopefully of interest, and I can get up and talk about. So there we go. Number one, the Novatec from America. I obviously got this, as far as I know, from a boot sale. Yeah, it would have been from a boot sale. What I paid for it? Silly money. Things now have shot up in price. I couldn't touch the other stuff I used to pick up. Even finding telephones have got so expensive. Really stupid money. I think I saw a trim phone, 12 button trim phone. I've got one, but I saw one on eBay. I think they wanted about £1,000 for it. I honestly couldn't believe it. The world's gone mad. So, you know, if you're seeing stuff on there, look at it and say to yourself, is it really worth this? I tend to buy stuff because I'm interested in it. I look at it as a way of an investment. And it paid dividends in a lot of cases. I don't sell stuff. I put stuff up of interest. And this is the way I do it. I suppose I've got collecting antiques in my blood. My mother was quite interested in antiques. And my father, I think he restored antique bits and pieces, mainly furniture type stuff. So it's obviously in the family. Family I haven't got now. I lost my parents when I was very young. My mother I was about 8 or 9. It was a long time ago. So I won't go into that. except to say that through the stupidity of the hospital and the nurse, or not the nurse, the person who was looking after her, wheeled her outside. This was a building called Maids Moulton, which was a convalescent place for heart diseases. They never covered her over with a blanket, and she caught a chill. That's what I was told. And I'm afraid she passed away, and that was when I was 9. And my father died when I was about 21, or just over 21. So that's my life. Anyhow, I'm not going to bore you with anything else. Don't know what I'm going to put up next. Could be a telephone, could be a bowl, could be anything. Thanks for watching. Thank you.